So this weekend I watched Nate Bargatze's mega blockbuster hit, The Breadwinners. I don't even know what to say. It ruined my weekend. I can't believe I spent money to go see it. It was actually nuanced in how horrible it was. And I like Nate Bargatze. I really like him. I think he's a great comedian. And as I said before, I have a lot of respect for clean comedy. I really admire it. But this was atrocious. This has got to be one of the most bland, dad has to actually raise the kids movies that I've ever seen. It's no daddy daycare, I'll tell you that much.
Now they're prepared to go
I give it 3 days.
where no daddy has gone before.
Can't men do anything that women can do?
No, we can't.
Today we are looking into the absolutely exhausted trope of wife smart, husband dumb. I was shocked when I saw that Nate Bargatze actually wrote this movie along with the guy who made American Vandal. This has got to be one of the most soulless, artless pieces of trash that I have ever seen. I'm actually gobsmacked. My gobs are smacked. I really hope Nate got paid for this and this wasn't just like a passion project of his. I really hope this was just a cash grab and not something he believed in, because damn. The product placement in this movie might be the worst I've ever seen. It's worse than the World War Z Pepsi. It's worse than when Transformers became Beats by Dre. It's worse than when Spider-Man used Bing. Bing! I wonder if I'm stupid for even feeling anything about this movie, because it was just a vehicle for advertisements. Hold on, there's a whole Puerto Rican Day parade happening outside my house right now, sorry. It was just a vehicle for advertisements. And speaking of vehicles, Toyota RAV4 is the leading vehicle in safety in its class. I was actually really surprised when the car is shown getting into a crash, because I would imagine that would have been a conflict of corporate image interests. This movie is just an ad for Toyota and Walmart and Shark Tank and the Tennessee Titans and any other product that they could cram into it where they could. Even the trailers make it seem like they had to make this movie with a sniper trained on his family the whole time.
Hey, it's Nate Bargatze. Get ready for the dead air because the new Breadwinner trailer starts now.
Nate, are you okay? Blink twice if you need help. The movie is so bad that when I went online to find a pirated copy of it so that I could get footage and, review it again under a critical lens without having to pay for it, the pirating site accidentally uploaded the wrong Breadwinners. They uploaded the 2017 animated movie about being a girl growing up under the Taliban, which honestly is the funniest part about this movie. It's so bad you can't even steal it. Now, the elephant in the room is that this is obviously just a ripoff of Mr. Mom, the Michael Keaton movie that came out 43 years ago, and honestly is much better. Nowadays, Nate Bargatze is the preeminent clean comic, so I didn't expect anything too crazy, and this movie is obviously PG, but Mr. Mom was PG too. A 1980s PG. Every comment on Sony's YouTube channel with its totally organic 39 million views is either calling this a Mr. Mom ripoff, asking where the new Spider-Man trailer is, or just calling out how tired this trope actually is. Like at one point, Nate Bargatze struggles to make pancakes, and Nate has always had the dumb guy oaf shtick in his comedy, but this is so lazily written that it just makes him come off as genuinely mentally handicapped. Like Forrest Gump could figure out how to do this. Like maybe I'm just looking too much into this, but the idea that a grown man can genuinely not figure out how to make pancakes for his children is actually too much of a suspension of disbelief for me. It's too much. There's been a lot of talk in recent years of weaponized incompetence, and this is definitely more common for men to do. And the one saving grace of this movie is that Nate doesn't hate his wife like you would expect from a movie like this. My birch wife, Nate Bargatze, does seem to actually care about his wife. He just needs a Google Calendar reminder to remember to blink and breathe. I did a video on the state of comedy in cinema today, which you can check out here, but that's not what I want to talk about. Now, this movie doesn't warrant a whole analysis. That would be more effort than the writers put into it, but it did get me thinking about this tired, played out, smart wife, dumb husband shtick that just keeps going. Like, aren't we done with this? Now, this trope is as old as time, and I'm not so much offended by it for the male race or whatever, but I am offended by it for comedy. I'm sure a man liking his kids was actually a subversive take on the nuclear family at one point in time, but times change. Movies like this give me that same feeling when we see in 2026, like, white savior movies where a white teacher goes to the hood or whatever and teaches them to believe in yourself. It's like, are we still doing this? As I was doing research for this video, I found an interesting subsect of people who believe this is all part of a greater white replacement conspiracy theory because white dudes are always portrayed as bumbling buffoons in commercials.
Yeah, but why are they working in the dark?
Grow your business easily with freelancers.
Oh. Stupid white inventor of the binoculars.
Now, Anthony Cumia is one of my comedy icons, so I'm gonna listen to him for this kind of thing.
Jig, fuck, dick face. I think they're fucking me. I think Call of Duty has totally fucked me. For no reason. Why am I being shadow banned and banned from Call of Duty? I have one account. The other one was canceled. Fucking
Now, do I believe Nate Bargatze's ad-riddled, direct-to-video, Dollar Tree, fun for the whole family, combo 5-in-1 DVD shelf movie is a grand conspiracy to destroy masculinity in the West? I can't say for certain. Now, as much as I disagree with Anthony Cumia on age of consent laws, he does have a point here. The bumbling husband is a trope we are all seemingly tired of, yet we keep getting it in movies and shows. I found this HLN segment from 13 years ago discussing this exact point, and I think it's only gotten more common since then.
Being a dad, I just love this story, and thankfully some dads took action. Basically, what do they want for Father's Day? For the media to stop portraying dads as buffoons.
For one, I think it's a tried and tested trope that has been around since the beginning of television. The husband is a bumbling oaf who means well, while the wife is the intelligent and emotional core of the family. Usually he's a fat regular Joe and she's a complete smoke show, but that's usually because the guys who star in these things usually also write them. While I could list off a dozen of these type of characters off the top of my head, I really did struggle to come up with a single instance where the woman was the dumb one in the relationship. I guess Penny in Big Bang Theory, if you count that as a comedy, but she's not a total moron, she's a normal person. And the nerds are so smart and socially awkward, they circle back around to being doofuses.
Bazinga, 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 bazinga.
I Love Lucy is probably the first to have the female lead not be the straight man or the straight woman, in that case, in a comedy duo. And I think that's what makes that show so iconic. I'm not a sitcom historian, so if anyone can think of an earlier example or some other contemporaries, let me know in the comments. By the way, don't be some shithead who mentions some random sitcom that got one season in some obscure country just because it contradicts a point that I'm making here. All right, but actually, you know what, do it. I need the engagement in the comments. Fuck it. The obvious reason for this trope lasting as long as it has is unironically the patriarchy.
Tell me about patriarchy, which, to my understanding, is where men and horses run everything.
Not to be a male feminist here, I don't have enough accusations for that. Women are still perceived as the ones to take care of the home with children, and things like cooking dinner and doing laundry being women's work. With stay-at-home moms on the decline since the days of Leave It to Beaver, this notion is quaint at best and misogynistic at worst. Fellas, just clean up after yourselves. I don't know about you, but I consider comedy, and especially when you're making fun of someone, to be slightly analogous to hitting them. Hitting someone the same size as you is fair, hitting someone bigger than you is brave, and hitting someone smaller than you is cowardly. I know I've said previously that I don't necessarily support the concept of punching down in comedy, but that's in reference to the morality of making fun of groups as a whole and not necessarily targeting the individual. Whether or not you can joke about something is independent from how the audience receives it. Maybe this is chauvinist of me, but a woman hitting a man does not carry the same severity as a man hitting a woman.
I'm not telling you to get your ugly ass out of our faces.
Unless my dinner's not fucking ready. And on a much, much smaller and less consequential scale, women making fun of men doesn't feel as mean-spirited as men making fun of women. Yes, I know in a perfect world everyone is equal and comedy is for everyone, but I think the fact of the matter is no one likes to see a woman get beat up. And I think that carries over subconsciously very slightly into comedy. Ha ha, dad is dumb feels like playful banter, while idiot mom feels mean-spirited. I'm not saying that this is right, but I feel like this is the general consensus among people. I hope I'm conveying this point clearly. Do you guys agree? Watch someone in the comments try to twist this into me advocating for our right to hit women. And while there's no hard data to confirm one way or the other, IQ differences between men and women attend college at a much higher rate compared to men, so I think in general, in America at least, you're more likely to find a woman who is more book smart than a man is. Interestingly, evil women and mothers are much more common to be seen in horror movies compared to evil dads. I think the unconditional love and protection of a mother being twisted and subverted lends itself much more to a scary scenario than a comedy one. Maybe this is a genetic thing, but if you were attempting to write a comedy, the idea of a mother being too stupid to effectively take care of her own children comes off more as sad than funny. As I was preparing for this video, I really struggled to find female characters that fit this archetype. Lucille Bluth isn't exactly a mental giant, nor is Mallory Archer, but they're just as incompetent as the people around them. Maybe Jessica Walters is the problem. Marge doesn't fit at all, usually being portrayed as too well-meaning or naive at worst, and Peggy Bundy is about equal with Al. Let me know who your favorite sitmom is, and be normal about it. Dumb women aren't non-existent in media. You know, the dumb blonde is a classic stereotype, as is the senile old woman, but you almost never see them in a maternal role. Listen, we've had enough of the dommy mommies. Give me the dummy mommies. Ultimately, this trope doesn't really bother me as much as the equally tired, I hate my wife boomer humor. I just find it interesting that no one has really attempted to do the inverse. In mainstream media, there have been plenty of gender bends and gender swap movies. While I'm not really dying to see this, I am surprised that no one has tried it. At the end of the day, we do live in a male-dominated society, so maybe portraying the dad as the hyper-competent alpha male Chad and the wife as a bumbling idiot would just come off as being a sore winner. Now, hopefully this video didn't come off too much like a men's activist rant. I really don't care, but I was just so moved by Nate Bargatze's movie that I had to say something. I was just inspired to create. So at the end of the day, isn't that what art is about? Does that make this a powerful piece of art? Brought to you by Toyota.